90% of traders lose, and I was one of them for 3 years straight. This is just the honest truth of what nobody told me when I first got started. So, when I first got started, I would approach trading the typical path. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I was joining a bunch of free Discords. I was joining a bunch of free courses. I was doing all of this stuff, trying to piece together as much information as I could to potentially be able to succeed and actually get into the trading industry. But the reason that that doesn't matter is because trading is a game of simply just surviving. You have to understand that when I first got started trading, I was in college and I was working a grocery job at HEB. I was pushing carts in the heat sun, Houston, pushing carts, right? And I would also be in college and I would be taking out financial FAFSA loans to help me trade. The only reason I was able to survive is because I wasn't trading my money. I was trading the government's money. That is 100% the worst thing to do. Please, it's simply just my story. I do not advise you to do that. But the reason why I ended up succeeding was simply because I survived longer. But you have to understand that as you're trading, for you to learn from your mistakes, you genuinely have to lose. When you lose, you figure out why you lost, you fix it, and you move on. Then you lose again. You figure out why you lost, you fix it, and then you move on. So you come to understand that you simply just have to last. But how will you last when your money can't last? You're genuinely losing money. If you're demo trading and paper trading, it won't work. I'm gonna just be 100% honest with you. You have to go lose money. The reason you have to go lose money is because the psychological trauma doesn't really come from demo trading. It doesn't. Your psychological trauma doesn't show up when you're backtesting. It doesn't. So genuinely, to learn how to trade, you need to lose money. And you need to survive as long as possible. The game is literally just a game of survival. That is what I wish I had known when I first started getting into trading. During that entire process, what I ended up realizing was in this game, it wasn't necessarily my strategy that I needed. Everybody's strategy is free on YouTube. I am about to teach you my strategy right now. It's not the strategy that I needed. I'll give you all a piece of information. I've been trading for 3.5 years. I discovered the session liquidity model in 1 year. I didn't become profitable till a whole year later. Still blowing accounts and losing money. Why? The reason why is because after your strategy is down, congratulations. You have done 20% of the work. I needed to build an entire system around that strategy, and not everybody is the same. I needed to build an entire system around that strategy to stop psychological errors, to manage risk properly, and to simply just survive. Systems. You need it in place. Have you ever started a business and the business does not have an SOP, standard operating procedures? Systems that everybody has to follow or there's a problem? If you don't wash your hand as a doctor, you get in pretty bad trouble. Because it's a system that they have put in place to stop a catastrophic failure of somebody catching diseases from that doctor. Wash your hands. It's the same concept when you're trading. You have to understand that you're going to implement systems. That's the one thing I really wish somebody had told me when I first started learning how to trade. So simply, what this course will cover is what trading is, the session liquidity model, why it works, and how you can start using it to help you find profitability. And I built this free course because when I first started learning how to trade, nobody really showed me the real in-depth reason of how to actually become profitable. Let me show you how.